Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy, what is today? Thursday, February 17th, coming to you from our world headquarters, Unleash WD's world headquarters in Barrington, Illinois, with a great session today on our unapologetic LinkedIn Live Thursdays. I really appreciate you being with us. You know we're here. We believe this year when we wrote our open letter to distributors at the start of this year, after our We Supply America tour, which we'll talk about briefly here in just a second, we believe that distribution, the backbone of this country, has been under the radar for too long, and we need to be unapologetic about who we are, what we do, why we do it, the goodness, the nobleness of what we do. So absolutely unapologetic. Today, we've got a great session. I'm going to tell you all about it. Today is the second day, preview, I guess, or unveiling of the second volume, second ebook in this 8-book series about Standout, about leadership lessons from Standout distributors. And today we're going to introduce you to the second one. So come on in. It's going to be a great conversation. We're going to talk about the importance of people, the importance of purpose, the importance of customer centricity. We're going to learn from a Standout distributor, the Granite Group. So come on in, everybody. I see you coming in. Tom, Will, Brenda, I see you. Keep coming in, everybody. Let me know where you're from, and we're going to get started in 2 minutes. Okay, you guys, come on in. Let me know that you're here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let me say hello, and then I'm going to start with something. I'm going to digress for a second right off the bat, but I really appreciate you guys coming in. Tom, my good friend, thanks for being here, man. I cannot wait to be in the same room with you. Will, how are you, buddy? I look at that angel every day I come in. One of these days, I'm going to get it up here. Thanks for bringing it to me. Brenda, great as always to see you. You light me up all the time. Susan Merlo, good to see you. Let me see. You also say that you're down there in 60 degrees and that you're dancing, I saw. So great to see you. Jeff is at the beach in Columbus, Ohio. What a deal. And Jeff, no, it is not too early for Diet Coke. It is this. Mark Bodner, my good friend. My goodness, I know you are. I am still alive from the amazing Ignite event to ignite the L&R way. Guys, if you do not know about L&R distributors, I encourage you to go look them up, go to their culture page, take a look at the leadership of Mark Bodner and his team. It's absolutely fantastic. Hello, LinkedIn user. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. I think from the coast of Maine, but thank you so much for being here. Joanna, great to see you. Let's see. Rob, how are you, my friend? Great to see you. Tell everybody at the Collins companies that I said hello as well. David Shepard, good to see you. Jim McGarry, good to see you guys. Keep coming in. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, guys, if you don't mind, I don't know if I should, but, they always say keep politics out of everything. And those of you that know me know that I have some strong beliefs. And I just want to say, hello, Bethany. You made it. Snowy Kansas City, Bethany. Yes, yes, yes. Take care of that Liam and Lila today. Yes, yes, yes. All right. I'll talk to you afterwards. So, hey, where was I going? Guys, when I was on the We Supply America tour, those of you that know, it touched me in untold ways. It exploded my mind. It touched my heart. It filled my soul with the goodness. You know, one of the key ethos of the noble calling of leadership, it's tied to freedom. And that's what I see as what we do in business. And what I see going on, quite frankly, above the border in Canada just rips me apart. And I just want to send out a message to every Canadian, no matter what side of the aisle you're on up there. I want you to know that my heart, my soul is absolutely with you. There is an inflection point going on right now that is going to have a ripple effect and touch us all. And I stand for freedom, and that's all I'm going to say. And I just want everybody to know that I'm thinking of all of you in Canada. I'm behind freedom 100%, and Godspeed to everybody up there. So with that, and by the way, if anybody's interested, I want to have a just conversation, talk about this, maybe over the weekend live, if anybody's interested. But I digress. And if you don't mind, let's get to the topic of today, being unapologetic. Today is an important day. It is the second introduction of our second volume of this 8-part ebook series that's coming off the We Supply America tour, where through these 8 ebooks, we are providing to you 200 plus leadership lessons from 8 standout distributors. There are thousands of standout distributors out there. We had the chance to do 8 premier broadcast quality, in-depth documentaries on 8 of them. These leadership lessons are coming from these 8. You can download them all at that that URL that you see there. All right. So why did we create this important ebook series? Why did we create it? So I see some of you coming in that are not quite as familiar with the We Supply America tour as others. So let me tell you about it. Guys, as this pandemic raged on, as the weight of the pandemic was taking its human toll, as the weight of the pandemic was taking its toll on leadership, figuring out how to lead during this pandemic, raged on, as social distancing was taking place, as redefining the way work was done, we felt compelled to get out there and to champion the noble calling of distribution, the backbone of this country. So those of you who are familiar with it know that we went and purchased this RV. We wrapped it with the We Supply America tour. We crisscrossed this country from sea to shining sea, 97 days, 35 states, 34 different distributors from all different lines of trade. You see them there. And we went out there and we found the stories of the amazing individuals, the amazing people, but more importantly, the amazing people that are the backbone of this country. And it's a story that we need to be unapologetic about in distribution. $7 trillion industry, the 3rd largest economic engine on this country, 6 million professionals. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, to set the stage why we created this ebook series, let me roll this 1.5-minute trailer. Here you go, everybody. In a world of social distancing, remote working, personal challenges, and business disruption, there are businesses with their committed, caring, and passionate professionals who kept America supplied. Distribution, it's much more than meets the eye. the pandemic shined a light on the imperative nature of supply. That light, the noble calling of distribution.
This is about patriotism. This is about the backbone of the American economy.
Yeah.
To be a part of helping you tell that story and to share some passion and enthusiasm for that, dude, that was cool.
The role that we play, especially during COVID, as essential workers, is making sure that we are getting the material that those contractors need to continue that growth.
These are the inspirational stories and lessons from across America. This is We Supply America.
I'll tell you what, I've never worked for a company that treats their employees as well as the Porter Boys do.
Yeah.
I mean, they treat me better than any boss I've ever had, including myself when I had my own business for 20 years now.
We're honored to have you, Harold. We really are. We're blessed.
I love it here. That's all I can say.
We love you.
It's all that backbone that you don't see. Yeah. That's what we do.
So isn't that something, as we're listening to that, seeing that again, I'm thinking about this quick story. Is anybody here? I know Bethany is here from her hometown of Minneapolis, Iowa, but is anybody else here familiar with an amazing event that always happens on the last weekend in July throughout the entire state of Iowa called RAGBRAI? Anybody here? If you are, just let me know in the comments. I'm really interested. But RAGBRAI is an absolutely amazing event that I have had the chance to do it 5 times with my son when he and I were younger. And RAGBRAI is a bicycling event where 15,000 people meet on the western side of Iowa. And on Sunday morning, we dip our rear tires in the Missouri River. And then we bicycle anywhere from, say, 50 to 100 miles a day, camp out overnight. We do it all over again for 7 days until Saturday. We get to the east side of Iowa and we dip our front tires in to the Mississippi River. It is an amazing experience, an amazing event. And what I've said for the last 30 years is I've said, if you want to know what this country is about, go ride your bike across Iowa. Go and meet the individuals in these towns of 300 people and 15,000 people, and go and you meet grandma who's standing with her granddaughter in front of the library, and they're selling cakes and pies and pork chops so that they can buy new books for their local library and the like. And it's absolutely amazing experience. And if you want to know what this country is about, do that. As I was just watching this trailer of We Supply America, I came right back to that. And if you want to know what this country is about, if you want to know what business is about, get in an RV and go across this country over 97 days, sea to shining sea, 35 states, and you learn about the goodness of this country, of business, of the people in business, and the nobleness of it. And all that has led to this moment where we are introducing the second of these 8 books of Standout Distributors, leadership lessons from the individuals within those businesses. Okay, so why did we create this? Well, at Unleash WD, we are driven by our guiding ideas. Our guiding ideas, our purpose, our mission, and our vision. And we get up every single day, and our purpose, our why, is to catalyze independent distributors' ability to thrive in this world of disruption. This VUCA world that we live in, the velocity, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, the acceleration of change. It's not easy, but that's our purpose. Our mission is to ensure that distribution is the channel of choice. And what that means is we've got to be a part of helping 415,000 local branches, 30,000 different businesses thrive. That's what we've got to do. And our vision is to democratize the personal and professional development for all 6 million professionals throughout distribution. And we believe that these ebooks contribute to those guiding ideas, to catalyze the businesses and the channel, and to help every individual here with a desire to grow, to develop personally and professional, and to lead. Now, in these books, the 7 leadership lessons are based on the 7 ethos that we uncovered during the We Supply America tour. As we met with these 35 different distribution businesses, hundreds of individuals from the receiving dock to the C-suite, from the pickers and those in administration to those in marketing and finance, if you will. As we talked to hundreds of these professionals throughout the industry, we discovered that leadership, the very nature of leadership, is changing faster and more rapidly than most of us understand. I think we, coming out of the pandemic, are going to have to be different leaders than we were going into the pandemic. Would you agree? And to help us understand that shift in leadership, these 7 ethos have risen to the top. And you see them, I've got a poster of it here on my board. Those 7 ethos are purpose and people. Purpose and people, family, ownership mindset, customer centricity, expertise, and profit. And throughout these 8 books, throughout the We Supply America platform, throughout the documentary series, throughout all the conversations we have, we're sharing the stories and lessons that you can apply relative to those 7 ethos. Which brings us to today's book, which is available as of right now that you can download for free. I'll give you the URL in just a bit again. These leadership insights and best practices from the Granite Group. Let me tell you a little bit about the Granite Group. They are just an amazing organization, amazing people. My heart is full every time I think of the people that I met in Londonderry at their distribution center that we spent the day at. My heart is full thinking of the people. My mind always reels with the ideas that I learned from Bill Condron, the CEO, Tracy Spanenberg, the Chief People Officer, Brad in marketing, Amir in finance, Dave, everybody. The mother-daughter team that I saw out in the warehouse. It's just a fantastic organization. This organization, the Granite Group, consistently earns, the best of things. In 2020, they were the best. They were identified as the best and the brightest. They were identified as the best company to work for. They're identified as a top company-owned business in New Hampshire. And those lists go on, and we see it in this book, in the leadership lessons. They trace their roots back to 1901, 45 branches, 15 showrooms. You'll hear about how they continue to grow to provide opportunity. They are innovative, not just innovative in terms of technology, but they're innovative in terms of their people and their culture. We can all learn from them. And yes, they are being called by a noble calling, as we will see. Okay, so in this ebook that you're going to download here, we cover all 7 of the ethos. We learn leadership lessons from the Granite Group on all 7. On today's discussion, what I'd like to do is focus on 3 of them: purpose, customer centricity, and people, if you don't mind. All right, so those are the 3 I want to just highlight to get you into the book and get you thinking about how you might use these leadership lessons after you download them in your organization. All right, so to set the stage, again, people, customer centricity, and purpose. All right, now with that, let's just take a look at, I think, about a minute, 20-second conversation that I had with Bill Condron on site, and it sets the stage for some of the lessons and what we'll talk about today. Here you go.
A durable growth engine for your people. Okay,
Correct.
we all talk about customers, we all talk about, but you're talking about a growth, and I know the customers are
Terribly important. You don't do it without the customers.
Right on.
That's what we're here for.
Right on.
Okay, 100. I tell people all the time, if you came to us in our orientations, I tell everyone, listen, you didn't come to work for a wholesaler. If you think you're working in the wholesaler, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Wholesalers extend credit and move boxes. We are in the service business, 100%.
That's it.
Yes. And when we talk about what we're here for, we say, listen, everything in this building you can buy somewhere else, usually in a 5-mile radius, often for less money. Horrible business model, right? Unless you're born into it or stupid. I am both. And yet, if that is true, then what is it really about? It's about your people. That's the only differentiator. So it's not lip service. It's the actual business model. It's not just like, oh, you should treat your people well. It's like, no. All we have that differentiates us is our people. And we think if we can build a durable growth engine, a durable and dynamic growth engine for our people where they get opportunities to step up in their career and build the best version of their career, everything else comes from it. Profits come from it, Sales come from it.
Isn't that something?
It all kind of
Yeah.
funnels from that.
Customer experience, customer
Yes,
satisfaction.
because they care about what they're doing, and therefore the customer knows that they care, that they're being cared for, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't start with a metric or a dollar or a number or a figure. It comes with do that the right way for your people, and everything else will fulfill. Give your people, and we have incredible people on our team, give them the opportunities to move on and move up. Good things come from that, we think.
Isn't that so cool? In a minute and a half, it just captures and how these ethos are integrated together, right? Customer centricity. He reminds his people that we're not in the wholesale business, that you can buy the exact same product somewhere else cheaper, right? We're in the service business, 100%, serving and fulfilling the needs of our customers. And then how he integrates the people and the purpose that we're in the business to create this dynamic growth engine for the organization. That's our purpose. That's our vision. Why? Because that growth provides opportunity for our people to grow, to fulfill their potential, to unleash the human spirit within them. So much that we can learn from within this book. So within this book, let me go to my computer screen over here. And when you download this, here's an actual I'm on my computer screen over here, and here's the ebook that you'll download. You'll download this, and it starts with some introductory thoughts from myself, and then I set the stage for you about what you're going to learn and be able to pull from the Granite Group relative to the 7 ethos. We provide to you that poster that we have here so that you can continually refer back to it, and then we get into it. And these books provide these 200 plus total over the 8 leadership lessons by us pulling out the wisdom and the gems and the gold from all of our conversations, in this case with the Granite Group. And we give to you the quote, and then we provide to you the icon to help you see which of the 7 ethos that quote relates to. And then we also provide to you the timestamp so that if you go back to the video, you want to hear the words like we just saw there, right? If you want to hear the words and see the expansion of that and the context of it to learn even deeper, we provide to you the timestamp so that you can go back and use the video as well. And then we provide an opportunity there for you to self-reflect and think about how can I lift this idea and shift it into my leadership, into my business and the like. And it is a super, super powerful tool. All right, so with that, once you get in the book, let's just provide to you an overview in terms of 3 of the ethos, some of the information you're going to be able to glean and talk about why it's important. You think deeply about purpose, customer centricity, and people. All right, let's start with purpose. All right, one of the 7 ethos of the noble calling of leadership is purpose. And we define, coming out of the We Supply America tour, we define this ethos as purpose, being called by a compelling North Star to make an impact, create meaning, and unleash possibilities. Leaders on the other side of this pandemic, all right, we are being called to work with our organization, to work with our people, to be called by a meaningful true north, a meaningful North Star that makes an impact locally, makes an impact for your people, for your customers, for your suppliers, makes an impact for your local community, for society. You need to define that. We're being called, the purpose, to create meaning and unleash possibilities for our business, yes, but for people and more. As leaders, we got to think deeply about purpose. Gallup organization, through the research that they do, tells us that 80% of college graduates say that it's very important or extremely important to derive a sense of purpose at work. Now think about that. Just stop for a second. You know, we cannot look at the news. I cannot scroll through the Wall Street Journal. I cannot scroll through the news at all without hearing something about this war on talent. Is that fair? Now think about the challenges every organization is having with talent today. I got to tell you something. If talent acquisition and retention is on your mind, where I would start is I would start looking at our purpose. In this post-pandemic world, everything is pointing to individuals are being drawn to organizations, not just for a paycheck, but for what they stand for their meaning, for their purpose. Gallup tells us 80%, if you're after new college recruits, as an example, 80% are going to be drawn to those businesses with a sense of purpose. PwC tells us that only 28% of employees report feeling fully connected to their company purpose. So there's a dichotomy there. Dichotomy, is that the word? So there's a gap there in most organizations. And as leaders, it's time for us to double down. That's what I learned on the We Supply America tour. It's time for us to double down on purpose. It's time for us to double down on asking ourselves, do we have a meaningful, impactful North Star, true north, that individuals are going to be drawn to because they know that they're making a difference in what they do. And as I travel this country, I tell you, these independent, primarily family-owned businesses that I'm interacting with, these distributors, these amazing organizations, the very nature of who they are, being led for generations, with employees that are there for generations, if you will, families that are there for generations. There's a lot of good there. There's distributors that are driven by purpose that we can learn from as individual leaders and companies. And when you get into this book, I guarantee you, your mind is going to explode with ideas and challenge you and stimulate you and inspire you to look at your purpose. So, as an example, when I had a chance to sit down with Brad Dupuy, the VP of Marketing, just a fun, brilliant individual. He said this to me. He said, and you'll see this in the ebook. He says, do you know what's cool? It's being around great people, having the opportunity to build an awesome career with a company that's pointing north and has the ability to grow. So what is he saying? What he's saying is we at the Granite Group do, in fact, have purpose, and we're driven by purpose. Part of that purpose is this dynamic growth engine that Bill talks about to provide an awesome career path and opportunity for our people. Part of our purpose is that we have this true north. We are pointing towards something that's bigger than selling the boxes on the shelf, selling the toilets in their case on the shelves. It's important that we grow. There's purpose in the growth, and they continually talk about it. So I encourage you to get into this book and rethink the degree as a leader. And by the way, you could be the CEO, you could be a functional leader, you can be a branch manager, you can be a department manager. If you lead yourself or one individual or thousands of individuals, the purpose is absolutely critical as we lead coming out of this pandemic. Would you agree? Let me know what you think about this. Is it making sense? I would really love your thoughts relative to the importance of this one of 7 ethos, purpose, and in this ebook, the Granite Group tells us the importance, and they're going to stimulate our thinking to bring it into our leadership. Cool? All right, let's look at the second, if you don't mind. And the second that I'd like to just highlight today with the Granite Group is customer centricity. You know, we heard Bill talk about that in that short video clip, but we've defined this ethos of customer centricity as being obsessed with being deeply connected to the customer and focused on helping them prosper. I'm looking at Mark Bodnar again. Mark, I see your comment down there. Super kind of you. Mark says to me, Dirk, it's amazing to watch your unique ability. Mark, I love watching you and your unique ability. And I'm thinking about what we did together, relaunching the L&R way. And I think about customer centricity, and I think about being useful. And I think about built into the L&R culture, leadership, is everything they do is designed so that everybody in that organization believes and understands that they are a designer of the ultimate shopping experience for their customers. that customer centricity runs so deep at L&R that we can learn from it. And we can do the same at the Granite Group. So, customer centricity. HubSpot, great marketing automation organization. Their research shows that 76% of customers expect companies to understand their needs. I look at that and say, what do the other 24% expect? I don't know. But customer centricity, truly understanding the customer's needs, wants, and desires is absolutely critical. And what I found, well, I'll come there. And then the Gartner Group says 60% of customer-centric companies are, let me start over. Customer-centric companies, according to Gartner, are 60% more profitable than those that aren't. There, to me, is a compelling reason to ensure that we are absolutely focusing on the needs, wants, desires, and putting in place the process and systems and technology to ensure that that experience absolutely thrills the customer. Absolutely thrills the customer. So again, let's go to individuals and organizations that live customer centricity, such as the Granite Group. Let's dive into this ebook and let's see and spark some ideas relative to what customer centricity means to the Granite Group, and then bring it into us. All right. And so here's just one example again from Bill Condron that you'll see. He says in this book, you can pull it out. He says it's important to recognize what distribution is. This is a game of inches. Little pennies matter. Service and relationships matter. We have the opportunity here at the Granite Group to build relationships with our customers and service the heck out of them. Guys, to me, that's not one leadership lesson. There's 3 leadership lessons, at least, in there. Right? What he's saying is we have to ensure that everybody in the organization understands how tight this business is, that pennies and inches mean everything, right? And that the way we're going to differentiate, the way we're going to be able to grow and create this dynamic growth engine is through the relationships and the service that we provide to our customers. If we don't do that, and you can use this to have conversations in your organizations, to break down the service, to break down the commitment to the relationships, so on and so forth. All right. So get into that book. Listen to what we're pulling from the conversations I had with the Granite Group, and absolutely pull it in to your organizations. Okay. So let me see. I have one more. Let me just see real quick. Others are coming in. Let me say hello. Kristen, good morning, good morning, good morning. Great to see you in Texas. I bet right now it's not snowing there. Nick, 10 miles from me up in McHenry. Good to see you, my friend. I used to boat up there with my family all the time at Water Tower Marina. Good to see you. Jen, good to see you. My mind is exploding. Jen is kind enough to invite me to present a keynote or a session with the team at Viking Electric for her Watts. Sorry, Jen, I forgot the name off the top of my head. I'm getting old. She's developed an amazing support group in Viking, and she's bringing great content to not only the women, but the entire organization. Vinay, great to see you. I'm feeling proud that you decided to join us. Really appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much. Shonda, great to hear you, Dirk. We learned so much from you and taught the management team here at Time Warner. Oh my goodness, great to see you again. Good to see you. And then we'll say hello to others as you're coming in later. So great to see you, Shonda. Thank you. My gosh, the time we spent together at Time Warner was fantastic. All right, let me get to the third ethos that we wanted to talk about, you guys, and just highlight in that book. And that third ethos is people. Coming out of the We Supply America tour, we defined this third ethos as creating a platform for personal and professional development for employees who aspire for more. Guys, I got to tell you something, and I said this over and over on the tour, probably after about the 10th day of the tour. You know, when I walked into your businesses, I didn't see the racking. I didn't see the product on the shelves. I did, but I didn't. You know what I saw? I saw these distribution businesses that I visited, that I have the chance to interact with, your business. What I see them as platforms for the personal and the professional growth and development of people. That's what you're doing. I see these as opportunities, as platforms to help individuals lead fulfilling lives. to fulfill their potential, to unleash that spirit that we all want to unleash to be what it is we can be. And that's what you do. And I find it noble as hell. The jobs you create, how you help individuals progress in their career, how you give them opportunities to think and to grow every single day. Guys, that's noble as hell. And I think we need to be unapologetic about the importance of people. And I tell you what, man, I just saw over the weekend, I saw I saw an article online about toxic cultures are the core reason why this great resignation is in place. And they searched Indeed and looked at over 1 million different comments and all that. And what they discovered was that toxic cultures of the world's largest companies is the cause for this great resignation. Well, you want to know something? That ain't We Supply America. That ain't distribution. That is not your business. You are the antithesis. Is that the word? Somebody look that up for me. You are the opposite of what is coming out of the general press, of what we see in the Fortune 500, of what we see in Silicon Valley, of what we see in Wall Street. Your local, independent business that truly cares about their people, I didn't see one toxic culture. What I saw were amazing cultures who care about their people. And that, to me, is noble as hell. So what did we learn from the Granite Group and from other research? So first, other research. According to the Harvard Business Review, 89% of workers in February of 2021 said that their work life was getting worse. Hold on. Stop. 89% of workers, after 1 year of this pandemic, said that their work life was getting worse. Right? The hours, the lack of other employees, right? So the stress of the work, everything. And I know the pandemic impacted us all and every one of your employees. And so focus on people. Let's acknowledge as leaders. Are we acknowledging as leaders? I know you are, because that's what I saw on the tour. The stress, the overwhelm, the pressure, the lack of self-care as a result of this pandemic and others. I think that's what the Harvard Business Review was saying. They also said that 85% of workers said that their well-being, forget about their productivity on the job. They said 85% of workers' well-being declined. As leaders, I think we've got to have a full stop and look at that and say, what is our role on this post-pandemic world, right? With this ethos of people, helping people grow, thrive, personally and professionally. So again, let's get into this PDF. Let's get into this PDF and find out what we can learn. And guys, the Chief People Officer is right there. The Chief People Officer of the Granite Group is Tracy Spanenberg. Just yes, brilliant, but maybe equally or more important is the wisdom she has discovered. She says this since she's joined the Granite Group, that HR is not about administration. It's not about hiring, firing, and getting this form filled. It's about people. And you look at those statistics that we just saw and take a listen. I rather than showing a quote, I want you to listen to this part of the film that I pulled from this quote that you see on the screen. All right, here you go, Tracy.
And it goes beyond, I mean, the beginning of my career, if you told me I would ask somebody how their mental health is, I would have said, well, that's ridiculous. We don't do that. We don't go there. We don't talk about there. So we've, particularly over the past year, we've gotten involved in our people's lives in ways that we never thought. Now, we're not qualified therapists, but we can ask, are you doing okay? And we have to ask, are you okay?
Yeah.
And if somebody isn't, you know, you're at work for 8, 10 plus hours a day, your boss is going to notice if there's something off. And we can be those connectors to help. We can check in with people. How are you doing? You know, kids are in virtual school all year. How is that for you? Are there any support resources that you need? So there's lots that we can do. So we go, those lines between work and home are blurred.
So blurred. Yeah.
Totally blurred. And it goes beyond just taking work home with you or taking the thought of work home with you. It's you take who you are in to work every day, and you have to embrace and respect and love that whole person. People are messy and complicated and wonderful and amazing,
Yeah.
and you know, you can't just take the good parts, you got to take it all.
So isn't that something? I just love her perspective. And every time I hear that, every time I get into this ebook, it sparks my thinking relative to our role in helping our people thrive. And what I see in distribution is that we are ahead of, because the care and the concern, I believe we are ahead of the curve than what we see in mainstream media or the press. That's what I mean there. Whoops, did you see that? I grabbed my wrong shirt, you guys. Sorry. All right. Anyway, so, hey, Brian. Brian, good to see you, my friend. I really hope you are doing well, man. Thanks for the video the other day. Brian says, my 2 cents, every company says their people are the most important asset. Does your organization have HR at the spot at the table? Brian, I agree 100%. In fact, guys, we're also in the midst of, in addition to these ebooks, we're in the midst of a webinar series titled Obliterate False Narratives Throughout Distribution. If you're on a mailing list, you're learning about them, I really encourage you to go over there. And in about 3 months, we're going to attack what you just said, Brian. It's that, you know, so many, how long have we said that our people are our greatest assets? Well, I think that's a false narrative that we absolutely have to blow up as a result of this ethos of people. Our people are not assets. Our people are not found on the balance sheet. Our people are individuals with goals, dreams, and they're striving to fulfill their potential. And coming out of this pandemic, right, that's the role of leaders. Not to view them as an asset, but to help them grow, develop personally and professionally, and fulfill that potential. By the way, you want somebody to stick around for a while? Focus on that with them. John Kane, good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. And yeah, look what John says, the president of Wiseway. He says, work from home ain't it all cracked up to be. Plus, the supply chain has made traditional work within distributors much, much harder. John, absolutely right. It isn't what it's cracked up to be. And I'll say this, from personal experiences, I see young individuals that think they like work from home. What it's doing to them socially, what it's doing to them personally, I got to tell you something. I think there's big negative ramifications to that as Tracy says, you know, that's part of this whole person that we've got to look at as we're leading individuals. So a lot to think about and a lot to talk about there. Again, I really encourage you to jump into this ebook and get it. And I guarantee you, you're going to stimulate your thinking for yourself and your team. In fact, here's at least 3 ways that you can utilize this book when you download it. Please, as an individual, download it, have a yellow felt marker, have your pen with you, and just self-reflect. Look at that. I guarantee you, as you scroll through this ebook, your light bulb is going to go on, and you're going to think about that comment and how you can relate it and how it does relate to your business. Second, I really encourage you that if you have a team around you, at your next team meeting, why don't you print this book out? And why don't you ask everybody to scroll through it to pick out one of the ideas, one of the leadership thoughts in there, and talk about why that stood out to them and how it relates to what you're doing, good or where you need improvement in your organization. I guarantee you, you will have an absolutely electric, energized conversation. And then as your business, as you are looking to develop your strategy going forward, as you're looking at your processes, your systems, as you're looking at your functions in HR and marketing and operations and your technology investments, I encourage you to pull out this 8 series. The first 2 are available for you right now so that you can challenge the status quo. And then, yeah, do. I encourage you, tie it in to using it with the film itself. All right. And so what I'd love to do there is just one more time show you that. I'm on our website right now. You go to WeSupplyAmerica.net, and you'll see when you scroll there, you'll learn about the We Supply America tour, but you'll see here are the 8 films, right? Documentaries that these books are based on. And you'll see, last 2 weeks ago, we introduced the Porter Pipe ebook. Today, we're introducing the Granite Group. So you can come here, you can click on the Granite Group, and you can go and you can start watching the Granite Group film right there. I mean, I'm doing it in real time with you right here, okay? You can watch it and have that open as you're using the ebook. And if that's how you learn, right? And then you can scroll down even a little bit more, and then here is a full interview, 45 minutes of Bill Condron, almost unedited. So you get everything there. And I really encourage you to do that as well. Okay, you guys? So thanks for being here today. I am so excited. I'm proud of the individuals who have opened up their businesses to us, like the Granite Group, like Wiseway. John Kane, thank you very much. Your lessons are amazing. Your ebook's coming out in a couple of weeks. So thank you so much. And I really encourage you to jump in and take a look at these ebooks. Okay. So with that, you guys, you can get everything at, let me see, did I have the ebooks? The URL, I should have that, but I don't. But when you go to, let me go to the website again here. All right. Yeah. Let me go to the website. So here, when you go to WeSupplyAmerica.net/ebook-series, it was up earlier, WeSupplyAmerica.net/ebook-series, you'll be brought to this page. You'll be brought to this page, and you'll be able to scroll down, find out about them. Go ahead, just fill in this information. You'll be brought to the page. But here you'll see all of the different books. John Kane, yours is coming out on March 30th, so thank you very, very much for that. But you'll come down, you'll see that Porter Pipe is available now. You'll see that Granite Group is available now. 2 weeks from now, Hill and Marks and all that. So to ensure you don't miss one of them, just come in here, register once for these, and then when they become available, you don't have to fill this out a second time. We'll just send them to you. But once you fill that out, you'll then be immediately brought to this landing page. We'll remind you of a great decision, and you'll see that here you can download the 2 books that are available right now. Okay, so there you have it, everybody. Go ahead and do that, and I appreciate it. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope today has been great for you. This is the year for you in distribution, be absolutely unapologetic. This country, our local communities, our families don't have what we have without what you in distribution do. And from one individual to all of you, I am extremely, extremely grateful. And I hope that these resources such as these ebooks, which, by the way, we could not do without our support from our good friends at Infor. We hope that you download them, you use them, and you stimulate yourself to do absolutely great things. So with that, we'll see you next Thursday. And until then, have a great, great day. And let's be unapologetic.